Welcome back and welcome to your very first coding challenge of the CSS Fundamentals section. In this challenge, we are going to continue building our project that we created during the HTML Fundamentals section. So, after our previous challenge, we already have this project here, and now our goal is to take this into existing HTML and add some CSS to make it look more like this. So, let's quickly look at what we want to do. First, we have some uppercase here, and we also have a subtle gray background behind the product heading, and the price is larger, and the shipping text has a smaller and lighter appearance. The link has a different style. We also have a large black border around the entire product component. Our list items now use square bullets, and finally we have some important hover effects here, as you can see. And as you can see, when I hover on this, the underline disappears, and we hover over this button, the color are inverted. So the button starts with an black background and white text. When we hover over it, the black becomes white and the text becomes black. This is the main goal of this challenge. Don't worry about the exact values or sizes or spacing that you see in the solution. The important thing is that you practice the CSS properties and selectors that we have already learned. So feel free to use slightly different values. What matters is that you understand how to create the styles yourself, and that's completely fine. If you need to go back to our previous lecture and look up to a property, please do that. You don't need to memorize every CSS property at this point. The goal is to practice writing CSS. So pause this video and create the challenge. Welcome back. I hope you have a good time working through the challenge. Now let's solve it together. Let's start with the body, and I'm giving the font family sans serif. Now also I'm just giving the line height for 1.5. Now let's move down to the main article. This is our entire product component. So I'm going to give it a class. So I'm just giving as product. This product, I'm giving the border of 4 pixels solid black. As you can see, we have now the border exactly same as here. The exact thickness isn't important here. We could use different values and still have a perfectly valid solution. Now let's work on the heading. Here it is in center. So I'm just giving a class border title. So we want the text to be uppercase and slightly larger, and we want the text in center. So first we will use text align to center and font size 22 pixel. Text transform to uppercase. Sorry, I am not giving double here. Okay. Now as you can see, the text align becomes the center and the font size is 22 pixels, and the text transform will be in uppercase. And I'm giving the background color that is slightly gray. this tag F7, F7, F7. Now you could see a slightly gray background for this. I'm giving comments to separate the sections. Giving this as product information. And this would be product. This might seem little small thing, but organizing your CSS become very useful once your style sheet gets larger. Now let's move to the product information. We have price here. So let's give it a class. I'm giving price. But for the price, I'm giving the font price somewhat bigger, 24 pixels. Okay, it's big now. And here we have small free shipping label class for this also. Shipping. We want it little smaller and it should be uppercase and bold. So first thing we need to make this little small. Size will be 12 pixels. Okay, it's now small. And I will make this transform to uppercase. Okay, it is uppercase now. And I'm giving the font weight to bold. And also the color would be 7. Okay, now it looks similar. Now let's work with more information links. This is actually a hyperlink because it has an href attribute class here. Class would be more info. And I'm using the link pseudo class. That I'm giving the color black. Okay. This allows us to specifically target actual links by using the pseudo class. Yeah. Now we will go for the hover. As we hover, the underline becomes disappear. So we will do text decoration. To none. So it happens. It is similar. And we want the same behavior while the link is active. So nothing changes. So we want the same behavior. So simply just copying this, comma, and I'm pasting here and giving it as active. So remember that we learned about 4 main link states that should always be written in an order: link, visited, hover, and active. And here the visited would be also the same as the link. So that's perfect. We'll go for the product details. So I'm giving a class for this as details title. It's taking this. Here these are in uppercase. So I'm just transforming text. So it changes, and I think the size is little less. So I'm just adjusting the size. Giving as 16 pixel. Don't worry about the sizes. We are just giving a random sizes to look similar, not exact. Now let's work with the list. We want these bullet points to square instead of default circular bullets. So I'm giving a class for this also as details list. Style that would be square. As you can see, the bullet point changes. Now we have reached the final major part of our challenge, that is the button. So and let's give the button a class that is add card, something like that. So let's style the button. As you can see here, before clicking it is black and the text is white. So when we click on it, it becomes inverted and the mouse is a pointer. So now what's the background color? Black. And the color of the text to be white. And we don't want the browser's default borders. So I'm just taking this border to none. And then let's also make the font size little bit big. We want the text to be uppercase, so text transform to uppercase. Okay, then let's use the hover pseudo class. And also we want the cursor to be pointer. Okay, we use the hover pseudo class. Simply, we just want to invert the colors. Background color will be white and the color of the text will be black. Hopefully this challenge helped you connect many of the CSS concepts we learned so far. And don't worry if you couldn't complete everything on your own. It's completely normal at this stage to look back at the previous lectures and check the property names. And with that, I'll see you in the next lecture.